Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamasho Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Aviravirmayedhi Rudro Jate Dakshinam Mukham Te Namang Pahi Nityam Te Namang Pahi Nityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality, and evermore shine in our hearts with your resplendent face. Oh, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. We are revising. We are on the chapter 5, and Arjuna asked this question. We are on the verse number 8. We will read today. We have already read the 7 verses, and at the question was Arjuna said, what is the duty of the person who have experienced the truth? Not for us. What is forbidden for them? And what are the special signs of their movement and manifestation? Please describe them. And in Bhagavan Krishna said, the very first, second verse of the chapter, that they have no duty. If man of freedom, what should be their duty? What should be their not to do and to do? Because they are all realized and they're knowers of truth. Because they are karta, they are all have no karta, identity of I. There is no I in them. And they are Brahma Rupa, they live in their Brahman consciousness, therefore they are beyond prohibition and what you call absorption. So they have nothing to do with work, so they are not bound in this rule. And then even Vedas, third verse says, even the Vedas, Veda Prabhu Navitesham. Veda is the injunction of the Vedas is for all. But these knowers of truth have nothing to do with that. Vedas dictate does not work on them, whether he is engaged in something or is prohibition, because they are always Swayam Brahma Sadananda. They are always live in the ocean of consciousness, bliss, and they rest in the supreme self, which is Brahmananda. Na pravitti, no nivritti, he has no inclination to do something, no inclination to avoid something in as concerned with the auspicious and inauspicious activity. We have. It is auspicious, we should have to do it. It is inauspicious, we should prohibit. But for the knower of truth, there is no such. And therefore, phalom bhogas tatha karma na adehosya bhavet kvachit. Because they are not deho, they are adeho means they have a body, but they don't identify with the body. They think as if this is this. I don't identify I am this table. So they identify not I am not the body. They don't identify that I am the body as we do. Because of that, there cannot be any bhoga, an experience of enjoyment or pleasure or pain. Tatha karma, even their action, there cannot be any action. Action is only for those people who are within the realm of Maya and in entangled here. Deho prana manabuddhi chitta ahankaram indriyam daivancha vasana chesta tat yogat karma sambhavet. Suppose how one can function some work, action, how one can act unless he has a body, he has a prana, the life force is working, and in that there is a mind, and whose intellect is functioning, right, wrong, shall I do, not do, and the senses are there. So that person have some action because of this connection with the senses, with the body, with the mind, with the intellect, with the ego. Work is possible. Daivancha, vasana, chesta, desire, chesta, effort, Only possible because of this combination of these things. But Gyani, the knower of truth, Sarvang Vicharena Nirasya, he has analyzed regularly inquiry into that Vichar inquiry, and he has done Nirasya, have given up all this because it is Jara. The body is Jara, mind is Jara, Prana is Jara, Mana is Jara, intellect is Jara, everything is matter, 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 insentient, insentient. They have rejected all these things and they live Sarupe Satchidanande. In the Sarupa, essential nature of the self, he is in the which is the ocean of joy and bliss. He rests there in that absolute non-dual reality. That was up to 6 verse. And 7 verse says, again emphasizing, karma leshu bhavet naosya. That person of realization, there cannot be a trace of karma. Niskriya atmataya jate, because he has established himself in a state, niskriya, state of actionless state. Brahman is called actionless. So he has identified into the Brahman consciousness. So he's residing in that level where action is impossible. It is a state called Nishkarma, non-action, actionless state. The whole world is in action. Whole world is in movement, transformation, changes. But in Brahman, there is no change, untransformed, absolute. So that man, a person, man or woman, who resides in that consciousness, how can it be there any karma for them? Karma leshu bhavet naosu. Because he is a jyoti. Jyoti means he is a renouncer. He has renounced all this identification. And as a tassaiva phalavagasa, only he or she will enjoy the experience of suffering or pleasure and pain, karma kritam. Those who do some karma. I do some karma. It's good and it's good, come back. Bad is bad, will come back. Because I am doing, I consciousness is there. That, but a person who is absorbed in the state of absoluteness, and his mind and heart and soul and everything is merged there, he thinks it is not my body, it is somebody's body is working. I am separate from it. Totally. Ramakrishna gave the example. Coconut, there is a coconut tree, coconut fruit. You take the coconut and it dries and water dries gradually. And if you don't drink the coconut water and keep it for a long time, and you keep it, it becomes dried, and all the water gets dried inside, and the inner shell that gets separated from the body of the coconut. And you can shake it and you can hear the voice separate. These Brahma Gyanis are like their water of attachment, pleasure, pain, this, that, is dried up by tremendous renunciation and tremendous absorption in God. And they are separate, though appear in the same coconut fruit, but inside you can say the skin and the shell is different from the inner flesh. Flesh has already become separated and it is a separate entity. That means he lives in that flesh that is the Satchidananda state. Now, 8th verse today. Surire sutijat karma bhavati iti prapashyasi ahankarasya shabhasa karta bhukta atra karmana. If you may see that some person, the man of realization, Vivekananda, is walking, talking, giving a lecture, running from catching the train in San Francisco in his own gate and moving, the train is leaving. Some of his companions saying, Swamiji, we should hurry up. Train is leaving. Then what he says, I live in eternity. Why am I to hurry? So he is moving in the world like an ordinary man. So Surire, in the bodily, Satik Jat Karma, whatever activity is done, Bhavati is happening. You see, we ignorant people look at a Brahmagyani from outside and see that he is walking, he is getting delayed, he is eating, he is sitting. You see, propasasi. Ahamkarasu sabhasa karta bhokta atra karma. Who is the doing the karma? It is the ego. But he has no ego. So the body mind is working in their own way. Body mind, emotion, ego, mind, your senses, they are functioning as it is. Machine is functioning, but they are totally detached. So they don't get involved. Uh,
Did he make the train?
no, you'll miss it. What is that? This is also Maya, that's also Maya. It's not existing. Brahman alone exists. Train will not stop for him in the material world, but he is not identifying with this. I live in eternity. What is my hurriedness? And he sometimes used to be late in lecture. People are restless, but when he's waiting for Vivekananda, that's a different thing. And when he enters, bus, everyone is. But he sometimes get delayed because he is not following the normal routine. He's a Brahmagyani par excellence. He does not live in time. Though he is living in time, you see his body mind is living in time, but he lives in eternity. That's the point. Therefore, it says, because of your being in the body, the actions you observe are actually done by the ego. But ego is illumined by the consciousness and is the doer and the enjoyer of all actions. But the Brahmagyani does not do anything. Sakshina pashyati sarvam Jnani Shakshi Swayam Prabhu Sangasparsho Tato Nasto Bhanubat Loka Karmabhi. Ninth verse. Shakshina Bhashyate Sarvam. Shakshi means the witness, witness consciousness that illumines the objects. Sakshi means in us. If we go to Vedanta, what does it say? This is the body, behind the body is the prana, the vital energy, behind the mind is the mind, behind that mind is the intellect, behind that mind is the ego, and behind the ego, Shakshi, is the witness consciousness. That light of the witness consciousness falls on the ego. Ego gets illumined. That light falls on the buddhi, intellect. It gets illumined. The reflection coming through, penetrating to layer, and the body is functioning. We see the body is shining. It is not the shining nature of the body. It's the nature of the consciousness, witness consciousness, that reflected consciousness. That's why Shakshina Bhashyate Sarvam. Everything is illumined by the Shakshi, witness consciousness. Bhanuvat Lokakarmavi, like the sun. Sun's light falls on everything. So all the activities of the plane of ours is activated. We see everywhere people moving, talking, the leaves. When the sunshine comes, the same leaves, you see how much bright and brilliant. Is it the brightness of the leaves? But it is the light shining. So that is the Sakshi light falling on this matter. Matter is little one piece of grass. Here is some leaves in the tree, or this, even there's some cloud in the sky, light falling. It becoming everything is becoming brighter and brighter. But it is not the light of the material things, but of the light which is falling up.
So the I guess it's the Atman and then the ego, and then the Buddhi is lower than ego.
Lower than. Vedanta will say Buddhi is lower.
Uh-huh.
But Sankhya may say Buddhi is upper, Ahankar comes last. These are fine distinctions. Mainly here we have to understand everything is reflected by the light of the reflected light. All are shining because the Atman is shining in its own glory. And that light reflects as Bhanu. The example is given Bhanuvat. Like a Bhanu means the sun. The sun's light, when before comes, whole night is dark. You are sitting under a tree, you see the leaves, it is not shining. The tree is almost dark. But the sun rises, sun's light falls on the leaves, and leaves, you feel, my God, you so much shining, shining. But this shining is the reflected consciousness. So this is shining, this is working, this is talking, reflected consciousness. So that is to understand everything, though active, though apparently it seems that it is a reality, it is called the borrowed light. These are all borrowed light. Let's see, borrowed light, sun will go down, then the leaves will be again that dark, again unrecognizable. But the same leaves will be shining when the light falls on it. No, you walk and see how green, how lastful. So Sakshina Bhashyati. So the Sakshi is illumining Sarvam. And Gyani Sakshi. Gyani becomes I am the witness. Gyani stands in the platform of the Atma. Swayam Prabha. Self-luminous. I am not a material of the object that someone will light me. I am the self-luminous Atman. He identifies that. It's a question of identification. Most of our life is identification. Identification, one identifies, I am, say, even being poor, he may identify that, okay, I am rich quite enough. I can keep my peace intact. And someone can also go mentally people become rich people feeling I am poor or misconception, some happenings of life. See how miserable they live. They need not have to live because their mind telling him you are this. So mind is in spiritual life is a great factor. So this Gyani, Sakshi, Gyani always lives in the state of witness consciousness, and that witness consciousness, Swayam Prabha, it's illumined, self-illumined. This no one takes a flashlight to see the sun because it is self-luminous, no? But what is not luminous, you take a flashlight, you take a bulb, you took a table lamp to light it. It is not self-luminous. So Atman does not need anybody to shine, does not need any other person to put some joy in it. It is lacking in joy, let me put little joy on it. It is joy, it is peace, it is Satchidanand. So Swayam Prabhu. And Sakshina Bhaswati Sarvam, Gyani always remains in that identity, Sakshi, Swayam Prabhu. Sangasparso tato nasto. There is no touch of association. That means it reflects. Reflected light is here. You put the light off, it will be the same. But it is Sango. It is no clinging. Really, there is no clinging. There is no attachment. It is mental only. Look at that. A deep relationship of a person. When they are splitting or they are going away, it's a what a pain. But after some days, you forget that. You live in that, you don't have any pain. How it goes away? Because it is identification and non-identification. Both are the characteristics of the mind. For a Brahmagyani, he identifies only with the self, the conscious self, Satchidananda self, not with body, mind, or anything, or the external object. Therefore, they are always free. So, Sangha Sparso, the touch or association, tatu nasti, there is nothing. Because bhanuvat loka karmavi. The action goes on like a bhanu. Bhanu means, bhanuvat here means the sun, like the sun. And the sun dictates the whole world. 8 billion people in the world, all dictated by the sun. Trillions of plants, animals, they're all dictated by sun. The sun does not do anything. Sun does come to tell you the way, do it for me, do it for that. Sun rises, sun goes in its own orbit, and the whole world is running this way and going to bed this way, coming to cook this way. Birds are chirping in the morning, just are chirping, and then going to sleep this time, going to fly that time. How? Who is controlling? Bhanuvat, like the Bhanu means the sun. Sun doing nothing, but his presence is activating the whole universe. All activity of the whole universe, sleeping of the universe. Who will sleep when? All sun is dictating. But he is not coming to your door to tell you, hey, you sleep now. But his presence is doing everything. Huh? So Brahma Jnani lives in that consciousness. His all activities goes on in his own realm. He is not doing anything. Just to be understood how God is unattached. We say how a Brahma Jnani lives in the world but detached. How detached? They need not have to practice that detachment because they identify their own self. Therefore, it is like a sun. He sees everything is happening in time, coming and going. I am the witness. I have nothing to do with this. Sun does not do anything. It is there and controlling the whole orbit, planets rotating, this, that. All is happening. This planet is functioning how? The solar system. So he does not do anything, but he is doing everything. In one sense, he does not do anything. Other sense, he does everything. But Brahma Jnani is like that. He does, because he identifies there. If he identifies here, as like us, we will have to cry and weep and every day. The life will be full of misery. Life of full, or today high day, tomorrow low day. Tomorrow I am in high, in praise and what achievement, accomplishment, boom, bam. Tomorrow balloon burst, boom, depressed, goes to the cell, never comes out of the room, day after day in a dark room sitting. I am dark, I am gone, I am gone. All happening in the mind. Yogis go into the cave. They sit in the cave and they get enlightened. Their face beams with joy, brightness and strength and power. And we can also enter into a cave like that and shut down the door. Well, we will be only loser, our own loser sense of not identifying with anything. We're identifying with wrong things. So, Brahma Jnani, you have to understand that he has nothing to do with Loko Karmovi. The activities of this world, in this planet, or activity of his own body, his own mind, have nothing to do with. Giving more example, 10th verse. Vicharati griho karje takto dehabhimano viharati janasange lokojatrānurūpam pavana samavihari raga sanga pramukto vilasati nijarupe tattad vidyat abhyakta linga. Very beautiful. Vicharati griho karje. You can find him. He is cooking. He is engaged in the activity of the home, going this room, cleaning that plate, or doing. They engage, no? Or Brahmagani sadhus go to Belur they are or do all types of work. Bicharati griho karje. We also get engaged in our griho karjo, homework, kitchen work. You are cleaning the bed, hmm, mopping the floor, doing the dishes. They engage. Vicharati griho karje. But how? Takto deho vimano. Not thinking, I am doing. I am doing that idea, not I am doing. I is gone from them. So body mind is doing, and the spirit of I am serving myself or I am serving God. So that is so much gone that does not allow you to run away from here. Oh, there is some work. Oh, let me go away. I've done enough work. Huh? Or I'm engrossed into it. I will have to do this. No attachment, no aversion. They do their best duty. That's why you find if you have a experience of a holy man, they're so perfect in their work, so engaged in their work, but they're so detached. That is the beauty of life. They enjoy freedom. We are all slaves because we are endowed with my ego, angularities of the mind, and our own feeling body identity. So Bicharati Grihakarje, Takto Deho Vimanato, Takto giving up, Deho Obhimana, identity with the body. I is gone. They work in that way. Biharati Jana Sange. They mix in the people of hundreds of people they'll be talking to. They'll be mixing with Jana Sangha, a host of people, host of people has come. Vivekananda, mixing with thousands of people in life. No? Biharati Jana Sange, Vicharati Jana Sange, Loko Jatra Anurupam, following all the customs and etiquettes. Vivekananda sits wearing suit, like Western dress, like a turban, like that, like other people. It is Loko Jatra Anurupam, as the Lokiko, this phenomenal universe, people are behaving, no? Following that train. This Ramakrishna, he is eating, he is sleeping. He is going to Dakshineshwar temple, Makali temple. So many devotees are also going. The Pujari is also sitting over there. Like them, he is going, moving in. But he is, where is he? He is not like us. Because he is Pavana Samabihari. He lives like a bridge. You don't see the bridge. And Pavana, it also carries the fragrance. They live in this, but they are not identified with any. Air does not get identified, no? You may say, oh, this smell, this bad smell. Bad smell in the air. Air remains air. Smell comes, smell goes. Smell, it carries because so long it is with it. But it carries, but it has, when it's carrying, it is not attached. When it leaves, it is also not attached. That means it's all the time ashanga. It is called without any association. Beautiful idea, Pavana Samabihari. The Brahma Gyanis, they are like fresh wind, air. They move like free air. They go to different places. They don't get defiled. Air does not get defiled. Its association for some time with defilement, and it goes away, air remains air again. So Biharati Janasange Loko Jatranurupam Pavana Samabihari Raga Sangha Pramukta. Pramukta means Prakishthana Mukta, being totally free from raga, attachment and association, Sangha. Attachment and association. Our main problem is that attachment and association. As we have attachment, so our identification comes. When identification comes, the sense of loss comes, gain comes. And loss and gain always in the mind, it will bring pain or pleasure. If it is beneficial, I'll be happy. If I get any reward, or I'll be happy. If I don't get it, I'll be unhappy. So, Bilasati Sul Pavano Samabihari Raga Sangha Pramukta. Totally Mukta means free. Pramukta means entirely free. Being entirely free from raga, attachment, and sangha, association. Bilasati, how they live? Bilasati nijarupe. They live in their own dignity. They live their own purity. They live in their own joy. Vilasati, Nijarupe, in their own form. In own form means the essential nature of Satchidananda form, which is they live in that means their mind is always tuned to that consciousness. All this description, you look at Ramakrishna's life, Holy Mother's life, Vivekananda life, Brahmananda life, so many examples of the modern age. And this history is not a theoretical talk. You can look at the 16 disciples, all of Ramakrishna's disciples. And after Ramakrishna's disciples, so many monks, so many of our stalwart monks who have lived in the world like this. They are the power, source of spiritual energy for the whole world. So, Bicharati, it's a beautiful part. Bicharati grihakarje takto dehabhimano viharati janasange lokojatra pavana samabihari raga sangha pramukta vilasati nijarupe tattavid back to linga. Tattvavid, the knower of truth, seer of the truth, they remain in their abhyakta, in their unmanifested state, because that spirituality is not recognized by we ordinary people, but they live in their divine consciousness, free from all attachment, all the identification. Whether they're engaged in chore works of the home, whether they are in mixing with thousands of people, according and following their norm and decorum of their activity and dress and all these other pursuits, they live like a pavana, like a wind with a air which may carry sometimes the good and bad, but pavana does not get identified with it. It does not get mixed up with it. That is the 10th verse. Here it said that when the Vedantic teacher gives initiation, by that his ignorance is destroyed. Listening to the instruction of the teacher and analyzing the meaning of thou art that, etc. When the covering aspect is removed and Brahman becomes open, then that sage, whether he is engraced, he is wearing ornament, costly ornament, jewelry in his body, or stay like that of a just a statue. So they can remain anyway, but they are not identified. That means sometimes we find that holy people, they behave very uh, not very sadhu-like. But you cannot judge them. Those who are realized soul, you cannot judge them. Lakshanam kinte vakshami shabhavatu vilakshanam bhavati tasya ko bhava kim alakshasya lakshanam. Oh Arjuna, you are asking Lakshanam king. You have asked what are the signs of a person who have realized the truth, no? That was your question. Lakshanam kinte vakshami. What shall I talk about that? What shall I explain to you? Swabhavatu bilakshan. By their own nature, they are separated from this lakshana. They cannot be designed, designated like this. Lakshanam kim te bakshami swabhavatu bilakshanam, which is beyond all sign. Those, what shall I tell you, O Arjuna? about the sign of the person who is by nature devoid of any specific characteristic. They are free soul. They are not bound by any traditional ways of living. Sometimes they do. Therefore, why? Bhavatita sukho bhava. They are beyond all bhava, all moods. Transcend. And bhava means some idea, some attitude. Huh? When we are student, we carry some attitude, devotional mood, knowledge mood, karma mood, meditation mood. But when the knower of truth, he does not need to do meditation. You don't need to see that, oh, he is coming for evening prayer regularly or not. Huh? If he is really reached that point, his meditation is every moment. So, but he sometimes follows the rule. That's a different thing. But there are exceptions we find in the Brahmogyanis. You cannot identify and put them into category. This behavior must be followed. That's why this entire bhav is saying bhava atita sukho bhav. And kim alakshasya, which cannot be indicated. This, it is indication. He has no, he is beyond all indication. He lives in non-dual absolute. You cannot indicate non-dual in absolute because you are a part of duality. How can you point out to the infinite? You have no concept what is infinite, which direction you are pointing your finger. So this verse translates, what shall I tell you about the signs of a person who is by nature devoid of any specific characteristics of the state of that person who has transcended all mental states, and the characteristic of him who has no characteristic. You cannot put them into any category. The knowers of truth, a category by themselves. Right? Thakur also said, sometimes they look like a ghoul, huh? Sometimes like a child, sometimes like a crazy guy. Huh? One Brahmagyani is sitting on a dog, and street dog, dirty, in Indian dog, not American dogs. American dogs are very taken care of. They are washed and cleaned and groomed, and so they get medicine. But what about Indian dogs, street dogs? The survival is a question. So one sadhu is sitting over that. Eh? One Brahmagyani, no? And he also want to eat. The sadhu, he found in the dustbin somebody had thrown away some bread. So he took out that bread joyfully. He is eating himself. And he's feeding the cow, and dog also. And one bite he is taking, another bite the dog is taking. Hari, if I want to see a holy man like that, shall I consider him as a holy man? But he is doing like that, feeding like that. And the story in Sankaracharya's life, Acharya Sankara, he took a holy bath in the holy Ganga, and he is going to see Jagannath, Vishwanath, the Lord Shiva in Benares, the holy with Lord Vishwanath. And because he is dirty, the dog is dirty, and this man, how he's sitting and eating with the dog, sharing the same one bite and one bite, and he could not take it. Hey, Duram Apasaro. Hey, Chandala. Chandala means outcast. Hey, Chandala, get out of my way. I am going to Vishwanath to have the darshan of the Lord Vishwanath. No? And then what he said, Brahmagyani. So he said, Vishnu Puri Sthito Vishnu Khadati Vishnave Katham Hasa Sire Vishnu Sarvam Vishnu Mayam Jagat. He gave a response, the pagal, the crazy guy eating, sharing the bite of the bread with the dog. A street dog, dirty dog, and his body is also not clean. So have not cleaned his washed his body for a long time, dirt and hair, matted, this, that. Maybe half naked. Huh? They said, and the response came from the half naked crazy guy. He said, oh Shankara, you are Shankara, you are great soul. I am Vishnu, and the dog is Lord Vishnu. Vishnu Upori, Sthito Vishnu. This dog Vishnu, I am sitting on that. I am also Vishnu. Vishnu Puri Sthito Vishnu. Vishnu, I am Vishnu, the crazy guy you are seeing. Khadati, feeding. Vishnave, the dog you are seeing, it is Vishnu. So Vishnu feeding Vishnu, sitting on Vishnu, and Katham Hasasire Vishnu. You Shankara, you are also Vishnu. Why are you laughing at my behavior? And just making a joke of me. Sarvam Vishnu Mayam Jagat. Huh? Everything is permeated by that Vishnu. That's a revelation for Shankara. But what we want to take it here, the Brahmajnani is very difficult to realize in that type of state. Not that Brahmajnani is all the Brahmajnanis here in the Hollywood Boulevard. They do so many things, no? Talking to themselves day and night, how. So they are all Brahmajnani. Not that, but I am saying that maybe Brahmajnani may behave like that. But it is they don't fall into any category. Because they behave like that, their knowledge is gone. Rather, their knowledge is so established and challenged that word comes out. In me is Atman, you are Atman, Atman is feeding the Atman, and everything is permeated with Atman. Why are you smiling at me? Oh, Atman. You Atman in the body of Shankara. Me Atman in the body of this, say, a dirty person. And this dog is a dirty, it is also the Atman. And this food, what I am feeding, it is also Atman. It's nothing but Atman everywhere. Why are you then ridiculing me, separating me? I am a Duram. Get out of my way. Who will get out? The Atman can get out. It's in your path. Which path is Atman? The I am Atman, the dog is Atman. So nothing can be separated. So this is then high state of Thakur said. That's what he said. That one holy man came to Dakshineshwar, and Ramakrishna seeing him, he said, "Oh, he's a Brahmajnani." And he actually, Hridayaram followed him. He's a crazy guy with half torn cloth here, dirty cloth, matted here, dirt all over the body, not taken shower, maybe so many days. Seeing Ramakrishna telling him he's a Gunwara Brahmajnani. And Hridayaram followed him. And he's just following him, but he does not want to. Then he said, when shall I realize God or something? He asked the question. He said, when the dirty water of the drain and the holy Ganga water will be alike in your understanding, then you know that you have realized the state of God realization. I forgot the exact wording, but this is the content of the
gospel. You are right.
So this is the people. So they are talking about that. And Arjuna asked this question: if a man realizes, can I see? Yes, they may also see. Ramakrishna. He is a total renouncer, but he asked Mathur Babu to have some, what do you call, a shawl. And the shawl, Mathur Babu brought the best shawl. It was in those days, few thousands of rupees was the price of that. You cannot imagine, 1,000 rupees is how much? Few thousand rupees. And Ramakrishna was very happy. And he brought the shawl, put it the shawl this way, that way, and putting this way, that way, all rubbing about that. Ah, ha, 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 ha. And then what he did? And then that throw away and started spitting on that. So this behavior, no, it's unusual behavior. He may be using, one time he is sitting on a, Ramakrishna, sitting in a, what you call a cushion, mattress. And there are some, what you call the bolsters, pillows, bolsters. And he is sitting like this. But he does not look like that he is sitting properly. So then somebody says, oh, you have some choice of sitting with a bolster and showing like you are somebody. Like, yes, why not? Like a child, he behaves like a child, has no attachment to anything. So these are specific characteristics of Brahmagyan. So we cannot locate them and define them that they should have to have obey this principle. If they follow this, then we'll say they have realized God. But they may be different. Some may be bhakto, some may be gyani, some may be flowing with tears in the eyes. They have practiced in their life. Some may be sitting Brahmagyan par excellence. I told you before that one we went to when we were in Uttarkashi. One time we went to see a Brahmagyan. So the whole monastic group we met. We asked who is a Brahmagyan here. There, the people have reputation. Now everyone respects him like a Brahmagyan. So we went with Swami Suhitananda Maharaj, our present Vice President Maharaj. So when we went, and then we went to Gyani, who is a knower of truth, Vedanta. He's a strong built, big body. And he's born in Punjab, strong, powerful body. He has nothing, only a loincloth and whole body. And we are with chador and cold and this and that. But he is sitting like this. And we went around the afternoon time, and the sun is going to set. So we went and said, Maharaj, please tell us something. And he said, he didn't say anything. He said, Suraj nahi hai, Chandrama nahi hai. There's no sun, there is no moon, there are no trees, no plant, not this earth, not this. And that is the only thing he said for a few minutes. So other people say, crazy guy, what he is doing. That is his sadhana. There is nothing else. And sadhana means he is in that consciousness all the time. And then when we went to see another, I heard that there is a devotee.
So he always says it is not there, not there. He never says what is there.
Neti, you cannot say yes.
No, Shivaham he can say.
Shivaham, we are saying, but when it comes to Shivaham, if you say it is not Shivaham. Because when you say, then we are saying, in Samadhi it may be there, but not this, is this, is not that. Is the negation part is the Vedanta's analysis is negation part more. And that will come at the conclusion. So anyhow, he was doing like that. So he constantly started, so long I was there, I never heard any another word. Only that was the only message I got it from him. Then we went together to another day to a sadhu who live in the Himalayas, the same Uttarkashi, and went there. He has realized God by bhakti, by devotion. So we went there and saluted him. And he started talking like a child. And he's talking about when he came to Uttarkashi first, when it was tiger infested area, people could not dare to come there. I am talking about, say, yes, about 40 years, 45 years or so before, when 50 years, maybe 50 years. Yeah, around 50 years, half a century ago, I am talking, and I saw that sadhu, he's an old guy. So when he saw, he's like Shantananda Swami. His face, his joy bursting out into it and talking love God and his all the instruction. He says, Swami Kustubachai, love God, put your heart and soul, and he is the only reality. And so you can feel his presence, your heart will be really getting inspired to see such people. So there may be different expression. Some may be meditative, some may be this, some may be Jaticha, Jataicha, whatever way they want to live, they live. They live under the tree, they live. Ramakrishna, he is going to Calcutta or going to in his office. So many visitors have come. He is in ecstatic mood. His cloth is gone down. He say, do I look bad? See, like a child. How can you think about these people to put them into any category? Yeah. So that is the point.
Jarabat, Unmadvat,
Huh?
Unmadvat, Jarabat.
Unmadavat, Balavat, Unmadavat, so on. So we end here, Naki. Any question here? So, so next day we'll read. See, it is conclusion. Next verse is Bihared Vividair Bhavair Bhava Bhava Vivarjita Sarva Acharan Atitasya Nanacharais Jati. Biharit. He will be roaming around. Vividair Bhavi. This mood in one way, that mood in another way. Vividair Bhavi. Bhava Bhyava Vivarjita. Being bereft of what is the mood or beyond mood. They are not limited in moods and mood beyond mood or mood. Let me what the translation we did. Who is beyond all types of worldly custom and wanders around with various temperaments, being bereft of sentiments of feeling, intention and non-intention, behaves in various ways. They behave in various ways. Bihored vividori bhavi. They wander around in diverse types of means and ways. Vibha bhavoi bhava bhava varjito, being with some mood or beyond some mood, whatever their intention, it is beyond all these intentions. They move around. Sarvo achara no tito, they are beyond all types of transactional behavior. So nana acharoi, but though he is beyond, but he behaves, walks and behaves in different types of sentimental use of their moods, and they are jyoti, they are sannyasi, they live in that way.
Non-Christian as well.
Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Panamastu. Okay, so tomorrow we'll have Gita class, a gospel class, and at 7:30, and Sarvadevananda will give that. So there is a question: how do people reach up to that level of sound sadhana that they can see everyone as Atman? Can a grihi reach up to that level of sadhana to see everyone and everything as Atman? Yes, I can. It is possible. Why not? All the sages of the Upanishads, they are all householders. So they are the sages. They have realized they are talking about this Bhatman, Brahman. Grihi means those who are worldly, two types. So Ramakrishna said that everyone lives in the world, but all householders are not the same. Some live like a divine life, being in the world, totally detached, loving God, and doing all these things according to their dedicating everything to God. If they do that, naturally this realization will happen. A recent story is also here. Say Balram Bose, you look at that Deven Majumdar, those who came under Ramakrishna,
Recorder of gospel.
even Rosik, the sweeper Rosik, he was a householder, he was an outcast, he was a sweeper. See, he has realized God, seeing And at least if we don't get it, Ramakrishna said, at the point of death. uh, and it is, yes, even if it is not this life, another life, it will happen. Everyone has the birthright. Spirituality is the birthright. What we are thinking, it is imposed upon us. And we have read in another places. Uh, this Shanti Gita has said, a person is born in one family and one girl is born in another family. And they, after certain marriage age comes, mom and dad in India, they arrange marriage, they call this girl, this make this boy meet together and get them married. And then it's my wife, my husband, my. And it was not my before. And in between it is account. Sometimes it will go away. So my. But those who think that it is all, it is a marriage of Atman and Atman with the spirit, they start their spiritual life, yeah, they become realized souls. Ramakrishna's life shows Ramakrishna's disciples are many whom we can name. They have attained this type of. Even Gopala's ma, go to that. Gopala's ma used to see Gopala everywhere. Gopala. And he went into a Rath festival, that means car festival. And when she went to the car festival, so thousands and thousands of people. And she, that old lady, clapping the hand and seeing Gopala everywhere, all Gopalas. Huh? Thousands and thousands of people is seeing all Gopala. So it is doable, it is possible. It is not only for few people. Spirituality is not for few people. It is our birthright. Only we don't assert that birthright. We identify with our present status. But let us identify our eternal status. That is the Brahman consciousness, witness how you what we read today. So if that is, and everything will be okay. Is there any difference in terms of attainment between Brahma Jnani and a devotee who has attained Siddhi in Ishto sadhana? Is there any difference in terms? Yeah, they may say different terms. You say parabhakti. A devotee will say someone is attained parabhakti, supreme love for God. No? And Vedanta will say, yes, God identified with the Atman and the Brahman. Eh? Meditation people will say, he has reached samadhi. The karma people will say, beyond karma, he has gone beyond karma. So these are the different terminology, but the idea is the same.
Can I have at the beginning, you said that a Brahmagyani has no duty, but many Brahmagyanis teach a lot and always want to spread the truth. If they don't do it because of duty, why do they do it?
Yeah, that is the very foundation question. We do for duty. That's why you are slave of our duty. They are free people. What they will do else? Because they see God everywhere. Suppose Ramakrishna said, you eat radish, you belch radish. No? So if you eat something good, you will belch the same thing. So if one's heart is full of God, he has no other means but to talk God. Eh? So if one is, suppose one is a politician and deep into politics, any time you go, he will love to talk of politics only. It's spontaneous. So the holy people does it by that way. Not that they are thinking, I am doing this, she will get benefit, you will get benefit. That means you are bringing your ego. They bring a little trace of ego, but by God's will. They don't think that I am a big preacher, I am a big teacher. But ordinary people like us said, I am a teacher. I spoke very well. And so many people appreciated me. So I think this way. So my ego is working. But Brahmajnani, they spontaneously, they will talk about God. They cannot do anything else. Then because though he may hide sometimes, as we are reading today, these Brahmajnanis may hide themselves, but If you touch them in proper place, they will see that they can change our life. One question, should we stop being a witness and a judge of how well our meditation is going on? No. In our present state, we should witness or watch and judge. Today my meditation was not good. I should do better. But if a Brahmagyani, this question does not appear for him because it is spontaneous for him. His mind will flow for God. But for us, because we are not tuned to God consciousness, today's meditation was bad and today time was less. I'm not satisfied. I'll do little more. Of course, you should have judged that, watch that, and improve that. And when you reach that point, 24 hours, it will happen. Then you need not have to think whether I am watching, because you are already in 24 hours in that thought. So till we reach that state, we'll have to watch and judge how we are meditating, whether we can improve our meditation, we can do anything more. Okay, so thank you all and hope to see you tomorrow again. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
কত নম্বর অবধি হলো?
Oh, it is